Hello and welcome to a very Thursday edition of Thank God It Is Wednesday. Had a little Midwest weather yesterday, so I bundled up and I stayed home. I did not leave the house. It was awesome, but that means that I did not get to go out to the comic shops. But it was okay today. So joined the real world again, and went out and was able to hit up the shops. So we will go over yesterday's stuff today. First, last week's book of the week. This is probably not going to be that big of a surprise. It was actually it's a surprise to me though. I ended up going with Venom's The End. The End, Venom, The End. I don't know, whichever. I'm guessing most people that watch these. If that's anyone, I don't know how much I love Venom and symbiotes. And we're like, duh, of course your book of the week was going to be the Venom book. I really didn't think it was going to be. But it was a really clever way of wrapping up the Venom story in the distant future. I just thought it was really clever and a lot of fun. It doesn't really mean anything. These are the end. They're, and this is the end of this character, supposedly in the future or whatever. It's not really continuity or anything. But I just thought it was a really interesting take. It was told in an interesting way. So I had to give it props and make it the bow, which obviously is the highest honor that any comic and its creators could have. The book of the week of Titan Comic Pressing. They all strive for it, I'm sure. All right, so books this week off or out of my list. Batman: Curse of the White Knight, and I've this now that I've read Batman White Knight. I mean, first of all, this is better because it makes more sense, but it's also worse because it's nowhere near as good as Batman White Knight. So what are you going to do? But it's good. A couple more issues of that are left. And I like, in the Batman verse, I really like Azrael, who obviously is a big part in this version of the universe, in that book. It's an interesting take on him. I like crazy characters, I guess. Azrael, Moon Knight, those are kind of nut bars. All right. Superman number 19. In the last issue, he revealed his identity to the world as Clark Kent. Let's see where that goes. Is it going to be? One More Day? What was that? What was that? One More Day? Whatever it was when Peter Parker came out as Spider-Man, and they're like, nope, this is bad. We have to reverse it. And he made a deal with the devil, and it was the dumbest story ever. So I don't know. Is he gonna have to retcon this and somehow go back? Who knows? It's a bold thing to do. When Spidey came out as Peter Parker, I don't know, that seemed like a very Marvel thing to do. And also I think Marvel has an easier time with doing those sort of retconning of their own stuff. Like, I made a deal with Mephisto, and like, whatever. That seems like more of a Marvel thing to do. Superman coming out as Clark Kent, the original superhero that has held this secret since his origins, doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a DC thing. And maybe that's a good thing. But it's hard to imagine that, from now until the end of time, until Superman the End, everyone will know him as Clark Kent, and that not being reversed in some way. It's interesting. It was a bold thing to do. Again, I think it's even more bold than when they did it with Spider-Man at Marvel. Because and maybe that's why they got Bendis on there, to shake things up, right? Because it's not something that I'd expect. So props to him. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy #1, but Legacy 163. So it's just not that big of a deal. Number one sells money, but it's just the last volume ended. This one began. It's kind of dumb, but so that just continued for me. Fantastic Four 18, more of this origin point story has been really interesting. Let's see, Detective 1019, and to go with that, Batman 87. I don't remember the last issues of these. These might be starting points for new. Like the cover's not giving me really good context of triggering my memory of what happened in the last issues. So these might be beginnings of new arcs or maybe just one-shot stories, but we'll see. Amazing Spider-Man. This has a very Cuphead-esque feel to it. This cover, if you've played Cuphead on PS4 or Xbox or whatever else it may be on, where it's the King of Dice or something like that, is a boss that you fight where he just has these giant dice. So anyway, I saw that it's like Cuphead. Just felt that way. But again, it's Spider-Man. You know how I feel about Spider-Man. And then Shazam. I think I mentioned Shazam's one of those characters that I want to like, and I've had a hard time doing it in the past. This book, I love it. The finding his dad and him being granted the powers. It was really good. I think I made that a book of the week when that was. But it's been a while since a comic legit brought a tear to my eye, and Shazam #9 did that. So we're getting the follow up on that. So that's cool. Stuff that wasn't on my poll, but I got off the shelf. Ruins of Ravencroft. Again, more of this Ravencroft stuff. See what's going on there. I probably should just get all the Ravencroft stuff because there's going to be a lot of it, and just have it on the poll. Except though, looking at the checklist, it looks like in the Ravenloft. Sorry, Ravenloft. Got D&D on the head. Ravencroft is issues 1 and 2 of a new Wolverine series that's coming out, and I have no interest in that whatsoever. So maybe I can get away with not getting that part. But it's kind of this. Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't read this one yet, but it's just these bunch of one-shots that are around this concept. We talked about this with the last two events, the Annihilation, Scourge, and 2099, where it's not really telling a comprehensive story. It's I don't know. It's probably, I have a feeling it's more of that because it's a bunch of one-shots. And then Web of Venom, The Good Son. And this is kind of the same thing. There's a bunch of Web of Venom stuff, but they come out sporadically. But it's kind of around the Ravencroft thing. I can't remember if this is on the Ravencroft list, but it looks interesting. We'll get maybe a little bit into Dylan. Is it Dylan? Dylan's what is going on with Dylan? What's his deal? All right. Then I also picked up a couple of trades. Lucifer book 2, and I love Lucifer. I love the Sandman Universe stuff. So book 2 came out today. I picked up the House of Whispers. Also, you may notice that I did not. A new Hellblazer came out. I did not get that. I decided to cut that off my list and add trades instead. So I'll get that in trade because it feels like it. I think I talked about it before. It will fit nicely at the end of just the existing Hellblazer trades. But then I also picked up Books of Magic because I didn't have the first Books of Magic. So I got a couple of Sandman Universe stuff I need to get caught up on. I did read House of Whispers. It was fantastic. I am still behind, though. I think I still need the Dreaming book 2. I might pick that up this weekend. I don't know. I have designs to go back to comic shops this weekend and looking at filling in or starting, hopefully starting / finishing some runs of some stuff. From the back issues, was able to get 3 issues of Spectacular Spider-Man that I needed. 38, 50, and 90. 90 is actually one of the big ones for Spectacular Spider-Man. There's not a whole lot of issues in Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man for that matter, that are really valuable or major things happen. There's some first appearances and stuff like this, but not a whole lot. They kept most of the main stuff to amazing. But this is one of the bigger ones, I suppose. It's the first appearance, I shouldn't say first appearance, but it's the first appearance in Spectacular Spider-Man of the black costume. So, as far as a key issue is concerned, that's stretching it. I mean, the first appearance of the black costume in Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #8, that I get. Amazing Spider-Man, 258? The first appearance of the black costume in, is that 258? I think so. In the main series, I get that. But then there's the first appearance of the black costume in a supplemental series. It's too much. But it is one of those books that costs a bit more because some people perceive it to be a key issue. I just wanted it to fill in my run of Spectacular Spider-Man. So this copy is not the best. If I were getting it as a key issue, I would probably get something better. But since I don't care that much and just want to fill it, I was okay with getting a bit lower grade on it, just so I could have it, so I could have the collection. But at the same time, a lot of the problems with it are things that I can fix. I don't know how well you might be able to see. Probably not very. But it's dirty. It is dirty. But it really looks like the kind of dirty that I can clean up. So I was happy with the price on that, given what the market sort of demands for it, justifiably or not. And then the rest of the stuff, I just got a bunch of one-shots, Spidey one-shots. Kind of. These first two, so the Spider-Man, The Death of Captain Stacy. This is just Amazing Spider-Man 88, 89, and 90 recollected. It's the storyline of the death of Captain Stacy. So, which, I already have those issues, and I'll read them in Epic Collections, but I don't know. It was really cheap, so it's like, I'll bolster up the Spider-Man collection a little bit. Spider-Man Unmasked, also not like a one-shot or a comic. This is really just a sort of dossier. What are those DC books that they do? Like Secret Origins. It's like a Secret Origins of Spider-Man. So it just talks about, hey, this is who Spider-Man is. This is what his powers are. This is his tech. These are the characters that revolve around him. So it's not really a story in there, but Spider-Man didn't have it. The actual one-shots, Spider-Man and Batman, oh boy, this is, and you can't see or feel, obviously, because it's a video. You can't feel things through videos, I'm sure. That's might be news to you. It has the raised cover on, 90s. This could be early 2000s. It's close. But this is the era. If there is ever to be a Spider-Man and Batman crossover, I want it to be in this era of nonsense. So I'm excited to read that. Spider-Man Legacy of Evil, and just a one-shot. That looked really cool. It's obviously with Norman Osborn, with Green Goblin. But then all the art is sort of this painted looking style. So it looks really pretty. And then Spider-Man, the Osborn Journal, The Sinister Secrets of Spider-Man's Greatest Foe. I'm not really sure what I'm in store for here. But I think it's going to be like things from Osborn's perspective, and journal entries of being the Green Goblin. Maybe get a little glimpse into the madness of Norman Osborn. So that might be fun. So I think that's it. It was a healthy week. I'm hoping that's it's gonna be slowing down a little bit with the stuff out of the back issues. Again, as far as Venom stuff goes, and even Spider-Man one shots and minis, and pretty much depleted. nearly depleted the my wells. So that's what that is. So that is it. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps out quite a bit, especially the commenting and the liking. Let me know your thoughts. What should I have picked up? What did I miss? What was good? What should I drop? All that stuff. And then I will see you all next time. Later. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.